Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Art of Being a Woman. I'm your host, Courtney, and today we are discussing the art of being comfortable with being misunderstood. This is a big topic, and I'm very excited to speak about it more in depth because we all experience what it's like to be misunderstood. We can be misunderstood by people that know us very well, like our family, our friends, our partner. And we can also be misunderstood by people that obviously don't know us at all, whether it's on social media or out in public. And the truth is, it's a part of life because people are allowed to misunderstand us. People are allowed to see us in any way they see fit, and they do. Even our favorite people in life choose to see us how they want to see us. It's a choice. Some people choose to see the good in everyone, and then there's people that choose to allow the more negative qualities that they see in other people to overpower the good. Now, the biggest disservice we can do to ourselves is get hung up over those people because we can't control what people think about us. We can't control how people feel about us. The whole purpose of being misunderstood is to realign with what actually matters, which is how we feel about ourselves. Because when our self-love and our self-respect is so stable and so secure, we don't need anybody else to love us as much as we love ourselves. We don't need anyone to respect us as much as we respect ourselves because we get all of that feeling internally. There's no reason to outsource something when you're not running low. By the end of this episode, you will have a much clearer understanding of what to do with that feeling and what to do when you are experiencing someone misunderstanding you. As always, I'm going to discuss 4 steps that I posted on my Instagram account and my Threads account at She Is Artfully Woman, where I post a lot of written content that's centered around spirituality, self-growth, alignment, you name it. The 4 steps that we're going to get into are as follows. Step 1, accept that being misunderstood is unavoidable. Step 2, ask yourself why you need to be understood. Step 3, allow yourself to exist without pressure. And step 4, know only you need to understand yourself. Now, let's get straight into step 1. Accept that being misunderstood is unavoidable. One of my previous podcast episodes touches on this step. It's episode 14. It's called The Art of Not Caring What Others Think of You. In that episode, I really go into detail about the stories that we create in our head about what we assume other people are thinking about us. And we get so caught up in these stories because we can know someone so well that we think that we're 100% accurate. Their body language, based on previous behavior, we just feel like we know what other people are thinking. And we get so fixated on that one perspective that we don't realize that we're guessing. And we're not realizing that we actually have no proof that our assumptions are true. Yet we allow these feelings to become so real and so strong within us, it's almost as if our assumptions are fact. Now, how does that relate to this step? Many times, we don't really have proof that we're being misunderstood. We're assuming that someone isn't understanding us because perhaps they're not agreeing with us or they're not validating us. But the truth is, it's not that they don't get us, it's that people are only able to accept and validate things that match their own experiences, their own beliefs. It's very rare to meet someone that can really step outside of their reality and accept that there are different ways of viewing life and seeing things differently. When I think about being misunderstood, it's something that we identify with. We feel misunderstood. It's not someone telling us, I don't understand you, per se, although that is a possibility. But in the moments where someone doesn't tell us that they don't understand us and we feel misunderstood, we must take that as a sign that we're still emotionally attached to being seen a certain way. And when we are attached to being seen a certain way, our confidence is in the hands of other people when it shouldn't be. If we want to break free from that trap of needing others to understand us. We need to let go of that desire to be understood. Because what does being understood by others really do for you? It validates you. It validates the part of you that you don't validate within yourself enough. So allow that emotion of feeling misunderstood to remind you to go within and work on that. Validate the parts of yourself that you are a bit self-conscious about, so that the next time you feel like you're being misunderstood, you care less, until eventually you don't care at all. And that's truly how it works. You're not going to finish listening to this episode and no longer care about being misunderstood. It's a process. It takes time. It's like a muscle, like so many qualities within us. Confidence is a muscle too. It just takes experience, it takes time, and it takes practice. When we accept that someone is misunderstanding us, that doesn't necessarily mean we agree with them. It just means that we're not resisting it. We're not saying that they're wrong for misunderstanding us. We're saying they're allowed to not see eye to eye with us, because truthfully, when we don't see eye to eye with other people, we don't want to feel like we're wrong for that. We're not wrong for disagreeing with other people. We're not wrong for not understanding what other people are trying to tell us or show us. We would like to be respected enough that we figure things out on our own. So we must do the same for other people. Step 2, ask yourself why you need to be understood. I love this because when you ask yourself why you need to be understood, you're truly holding yourself accountable and you're calling yourself out. And I don't know why, but I love calling myself out on things, because as I've gotten older and as I've learned to develop a more intimate relationship with myself, I've discovered that there's parts of my personality that sort of run unchecked. And now that I'm more conscious of the choices that I make and the thoughts that I have and the way that I feel throughout my day-to-day, I am able to really look at all the choices I'm making on a daily basis and decide if I'm in agreement with them or if I've outgrown them. And surprisingly, I'm outgrowing a lot of the choices that I'm making. It's really hard to get to that point where you make more conscious choices on a day-to-day basis with your thoughts, your feelings, and actions if you don't call yourself out on the choices you're making unconsciously. And it's usually those choices that we make without second thought that need to be checked the most, because it shows us that with that specific choice, we're running on autopilot. We no longer care about the why because we've been so repetitive in making the same choices. This applies to when we're feeling uncomfortable, when we're being misunderstood. When you really call yourself out on why you need that validation, why you need that agreement, you'll realize there's a sort of obsession with needing someone to confirm who you already are. It's almost as if it's not enough that you know who you are. You need someone else to agree and affirm it. But in reality, you don't. You never did, and you never will need anyone's agreement outside of your own. You don't need anyone to tell you who you are. You decide who you are every single day. And truly, it's in those moments when we feel misunderstood that we stand in that confidence in who we are, because that's how we prove to ourselves that we understand ourselves well enough that we don't need other people to help us feel understood. We also can think that if someone finally gets us or sees us the way that we see ourselves, that it would no longer bother us and it would no longer be an issue. Sometimes it's not that we want everyone to understand us. Perhaps we've already accepted that the whole world won't understand us. It could be those few people in your life that mean a lot to you, that haven't quite fully seen you the way that you want them to. Even when you get that agreement, it won't improve your confidence, because external validation is truly a replacement to building your own confidence from within, which is true confidence. We can't gain confidence because people like us and approve of all the things that we do and say and think and feel. We become confident when we don't need anyone to validate or agree with any of those things. We don't need anyone to understand the things that we're saying. We don't need anyone to agree with everything we're saying, so on and so forth. So really ask yourself, who exactly are you trying to prove yourself to? And why them specifically? Many times it can be someone that you look up to. I know in my life, when I really asked myself this question, I realized it was people that I looked up to, or at least they were people that I looked up to when I was really young. I was able to reassess my choices, and I realized I see the life path that these people are on, the people that I once looked up to. And there's nothing wrong with their life path, but it's their path, and it's looking very different from where I'm heading and where I want to go. So I'm not surprised that our level of understanding is different, because their level of understanding correlates to the path that they're on, and mine correlates to the path that I'm on. For example, if someone that I look up to has a goal of buying a house and buying property, and my goal is to follow my passions and make a career out of my passions, our priorities and our level of understanding is in two different areas. And that doesn't mean that we can't understand one another. It just means that we could just not agree. We can understand that our priorities are different, and we can leave it at that. It's our job to be confident in our path, even though those around us have different paths than us. Eventually, when you follow your own path far enough, confidently enough, you'll align with those that have a similar path to you as well. The bottom line is this: nobody else's understanding of us will ever truly replace self-acceptance. Step 3, allow yourself to exist without pressure. I like this step a lot because it's not exactly about the moment you're feeling misunderstood. It's more about a deeper layer to all of this, because a lot of the discomfort that we feel when we are feeling misunderstood stems from this pressure to always make sense to those around us, as if not making sense puts us at risk, as if anything bad will happen because we're not relatable to those around us. We're not all here on earth to be the same exact person with the same exact opinions and thoughts and feelings and follow the same path in life. That's just ridiculous. We wouldn't all exist if all we had to do were the same exact things. And on top of that, we're not even meant to stay the same. So even if someone understands us now, they might not understand us next week. They might not understand us in a year from now, 5 years, 10 years. And so what? There's nothing we truly benefit from always making sense to people around us. If anything, it almost strips us of our individuality. I personally love the parts of me that people misunderstand. And maybe it's because I have a little bit of a rebellious streak within me. So I enjoy just being a little bit different. But I also think that part of the reason why I'm this way is because I've just always been this way in my environment. And the truth is, people do love what they don't understand. They just don't always realize it. There's a thin line between love and hate. There's those that will openly love how different you are, how out of the box you are. And then there's those that will make it more known that they're uncomfortable, that you're different, but they can't help but be interested in you and be curious about you, because it's showing them that there's a part of themselves that they don't show because they haven't reached that level of confidence that you have. And by truly allowing yourself to not make sense at any given moment, you allow the people around you to be inspired, whether they admit it or not. We don't need anyone to admit it, but that's truly what we end up doing. We remind those that have forgotten that you're allowed to not make sense, and you're allowed to be unpredictable, and you're allowed to be misunderstood. Personally, whenever I am around someone like this, that is even more different than me, more different than the people that I'm around, it's such a breath of fresh air. And those are truly my kind of people. When I feel like you're a breath of fresh air, I feel like God is aligning me with the biggest gift of all, because he's reminding me that I should aim to be the same for other people as well. Be unapologetically yourself and allow yourself to be a breath of fresh air for other people, but be the same for yourself. Take a deep exhale and just allow yourself to be. Don't limit parts of yourself, and don't hold your tongue when you're around certain people. for the sake of other people. Just be fully yourself and allow other people to handle it. If it makes them uncomfortable, good. They need it. It's not really about them. It's about you allowing yourself to be comfortable with yourself around anyone and everyone. Life is not a performance. We are not performing for anyone. Even if we look up to them, we are not performing for them. There is no right way to be. We just are. And we are who we are because we were created this way. We were born this way. And God, the universe, doesn't make mistakes. When we withhold parts of ourselves, we are kind of saying that parts of ourselves are a mistake when they're not. The only mistake, quote unquote, is that we're not owning it. We're not owning those parts of ourselves that we keep hidden and locked away. If I were to still care about making sense to those around me and to the world, I would have never started a podcast. I would have never started writing, and I would have never been recording this episode. And it's wild when I really think about it like that, but it's true. It started small. It started with me not caring to make sense to the people in my immediate circle, whether it's my friends and my family. And then you work your way up. So go easy on yourself. Start with groups of people that you are most confident around, but then get bolder. Then start tackling those groups of people in your life where you are more intimidated. And watch how the more that you stand tall in who you are, the more doors will open up for you, and the more you'll be able to see your own potential and feel it. Step 4, know only you need to understand yourself. Emphasis on the you. Because in order to be comfortable with being misunderstood, you're going to have to get to a point where you accept that your own understanding of yourself is enough. And not only is it enough, it is more than enough. It is all that you need, and it's all that you want. Try to not even want other people to understand you, because it's not going to help you. Other people's opinions can exist, just like our opinions can exist, but they don't get to determine how we feel about ourselves. There are some very opinionated people in this world, and we can feel very attacked when their opinionated personality gets directed at us. But we have to remember that they're opinionated regardless if we're the center of it or not. And those opinionated people, the ones that don't care to criticize you, to belittle you, to make you feel uncomfortable because they don't agree with the way that you live your life and the way that you think and the things that you believe in. The truth is, they judge themselves, and they judge themselves more than they judge you. And it can sound unbelievable because these people can come off so confident. After all, they have all this confidence to start picking people apart. But no, it's just because what we have going on internally can't stay hidden for long. It ends up showing up in our external reality. So when you are met with those kind of people that are very judgmental and very opinionated and they're critical, all of it, just know that inside their head is a very sad place. They put themselves down. They don't allow themselves to exist without considering how the rest of the world is going to respond to them. And they've lived that way for so long that they can't help but spill it out onto the people around them, especially to those that are the complete opposite of them. Because in their head, they believe this is the only way to live. This is the only way to function. And when you prove them wrong, even if it's unconsciously, just by existing, it makes them very uncomfortable because they don't allow themselves to exist without that pressure to perform and to be a curated version of themselves. We can't wait for permission to feel proud of who we are. We just have to make a decision, and it'll be easy to make that decision in front of those that we're confident around, but truly make that decision around those you're not confident around, and watch how your confidence will grow rapidly. The more people that we have in this world that are unapologetically themselves, and they don't need other people to validate them in who they are, the more we inspire and influence those that are stuck. And when we influence those that are stuck, and it becomes more of the norm to fully accept yourself, whatever that looks like, we'll create more love in this world, and we'll stop judging other people because we don't understand them, and we'll stop rejecting people the same way that we were once rejected. It all comes down to self-acceptance and self-love. In order to change the world, you must change yourself. And by changing yourself, you change the world. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. I hope that you feel more confident in yourself and more prepared to be misunderstood, because you will be. And it's not a bad thing. It'll be the perfect opportunity to prove to yourself how much you've grown and how much more confident you've become. If you like this episode, please rate this podcast. It would mean so much to me. And if you would like to keep in touch with me outside of the podcast world, please follow me on Instagram and Threads at She Is Artfully Woman. Lastly, if you feel like this episode can benefit someone that you know, please share it with them. I love you all. Have an amazing week. Until next time, bye for now.